whoever comes top 3 in that obviously is in the money. So, up in the top right hand corner in the blue trunks, to start us off today, we're going to have Berk. And in the bottom left hand corner of Cloud Kingdom, you know him as the Titan, it is going to be Jibs in the red trunks. And both players starting off with a house here, so a little bit of aggression possibly coming out of them, but it's also just a fairly safe build. This is a huge wide open choke obviously on this map, and obviously this one isn't that easy to defend, so generally opening up something like Den Expand is going to be your safe build of choice. Get across the map quickly, get your scouting out, so it just makes sense as a build to really pick on this map. But Jibs is actually going to mix it up a little bit. So much so Den Expand is the go-to build on this map, because it looks like Jibs going to be playing a little bit more of that barracks play. Obviously he's a little bit more, he does prefer his older units. We don't see him so much play with the wolves and dragons. He plays a little bit, but he's a little bit more of a classic player. There's Berk on the other hand. We've not seen as much of him. He did fairly well in August, but other than that, I think, yeah, he ranks fairly well, but he's not one of those sort of stunning top players we see a huge amount of. But he should be able to get a little bit of harassment done. Obviously, with the faster wolves and the barracks units, he should be able to deny the second base for a little while. And obviously the den, finish up a little bit faster, gets that economy a little bit faster. All that good stuff, which should set him up fairly well for macro game. I'll be surprised if we see any dropships out. They're not too popular in the current sort of meta, but doesn't mean we won't see them used, just it's a little bit less likely. But obviously some elevation play, sort of skipping around this front entrance and just hopping over these trees is always fairly interesting. So Berk's first wolf is going to pop out. It looks like actually he's just going to expand immediately, not going for that second wolf at all, just going to get the safety wolf, get off the scout, and then expand straight off the bat. And just overcues a little bit there, but he is going to grab second soldier straight away. I'm not sure about the choice of soldier as the second unit. Soldier as the first unit makes sense, because obviously otherwise your rifleman just dies immediately to the first wolf, and that kind of sucks, you have no defense. But as the second one, not quite so sure, but it does indicate to us a little bit about how he wants to play this matchup out. He's already assumed that wolves are on the way, or at least you have to for that first pick. And actually a really good location to deny that wolf in, gets a few free hits. Obviously now he's going to trail a little bit behind, and this wolf is going to get into the main base. We'll get a full scout off. Sees the just a single expand. Jibs now has 2 soldiers, so he should be able to, if not kill, at least deflect most of this pressure for now. Back at the main base of Berk, he's popped out a second. Oh, he's actually gone up to 3 wolves, but looks like he's possibly going to cut it there, at least for now. He's saving up a fair chunk of gold, so, and he's actually not bringing in the other wolves. So yeah, he's just being a little bit annoying, getting some scouting done. Jibs actually with some nice positioning. Oh, fantastic positioning there. Jumps in and picks off that wolf as it tries to get some harassment in. So nicely played from Jibs there, having the whole position soldier by the worker. That's actually something that I'm surprised we've not seen more of. It's a cute little move. Yeah, now Berk really only gets to have scouting from these wolves, and they are fast enough to get as much scouting as he wants. Unless there's something like a whole position worker on this choke. But at the moment, Berk doesn't get any free damage. But that's fine, he got the faster economy, and that should set him up fairly well for that mid game, where there's one of 2 builds really that we've seen popular as the transition out of it, and it is going to be the heavy upgrade wolf style. Well, sorry, there's 3 really. We've seen very, very heavy upgrade wolves, which is Venny, where he takes advantage of the wolf pressure, transitions into quick 3 bases, and tries to play very heavy with the wolves. We've seen people grab sort of a fair... Oh, actually... Yeah, it is going to take a bunch of damage from that rifle and shouldn't die. But we've seen people go fairly heavy upgrade wolves and then quickly switch over into dragons as a sort of tech switch, which works pretty well. Jim's actually doing a good job of blocking with these soldiers. The wolf should get out. Oh, nearly gets it, not quite. As I said, it does get out. And of course, the other third build, as I was saying, that we do see out of people who open up with this wolf style is, of course, the super quick fort, which is actually really popular. Well, was really popular. It was just to go into those dragons very quickly. But people who play Berk are a lot smarter about it now. They do a lot better. They've got the riflemen in positions, they know the timings, and fast dragons don't do as well. Jibs is going to go into the second barracks, and we'll probably see 3 racks forged out of him. I'll be very surprised if we see anything particularly different from that. Oh, no. Alright, so Berk not going to go mass upgrade wolves. It's actually going to go into that sort of heavy upgrade wolves into the actually really quite quick Dragon's Lair. But Jib's actually, with this little push out, he's seen that Berk didn't go for the 2020 build commit, so he knows that the wolf count's a little bit low. The fort should prevent too much damage from happening, because once that's up, that'll obviously deny a lot of this. But actually, with the 4 soldiers here, Berk doesn't really have much to hold other than the workers themselves, which is probably what Jibs is targeting. And Jibs obviously will scout this now. And the rifleman can just pick off any wolves that try and retreat into the back. There we go, Berk now throws down immediately the second wolves den, and tries to set himself up a good position. Oh, but he's actually going to lose... There we go, loses 1 wolf immediately. The soldier's obviously not taking much damage. Berk does manage to get a soldier in on top of this rifleman, but that's actually getting cleaned up pretty quickly. And Jibs is going to be a bit annoying, and I think actually he can go into the main base. Obviously he can't do too much in the natural with the fort there. But there we go, he's just going to skip straight past the fort. And this is a very cute little push. I really like this. Jibs has clearly worked out when the fort timings work out. Prepared for this, and right now Berk's got a very awkward pile of soldiers in the middle of his base, which he really obviously wasn't expecting. Jibs has got to be careful though, he doesn't want to let these soldiers get fully surrounded, they won't trade as well then. And it looks like he is going to lose 1 pretty shortly. I'm sorry I can't show you the full battle, they're hiding in under my UI, or under the game UI actually. I can't really see what's going on under it. But it looks like the workers are actually getting us around. And that's actually a cute move from Jibs actually, just to abuse the in-game UI to make it difficult for Berk to target anything down. And that's got quite a few kills here. Jibs is actually 5 kills ahead. Sorry, 5 workers ahead. He is going to lose the rifleman now, but these soldiers are still a massive pain in the backside. The big thing though for Jibs is obviously behind this, for Berk, sorry, is behind this. He managed to get the 2 Dragon's Lairs down. So in a minute, there are going to be, what, 1-1 dragons turning up into Jibs' base, which is going to be a little bit annoying. But obviously, Jibs does have the 2 racks now. He's starting to pump out a few riflemen, although he doesn't have a huge amount just yet. And there we go, the attack's going to get cleaned up. And Berk is a little way behind. 4 workers is kind of a pain to have to reproduce. And a lot of these workers actually on very low health, so good job on Berk actually managing to keep those alive. Oh, Berk actually wasn't constructing that one. I think it must... Yeah, well obviously it was a mistake. So the second dragon is actually going to be a long way behind. That's actually going to cripple Berk quite a bit. In the meantime, there we go. Jibs going up to 1, 2, 3 racks forge, as we said earlier. The issue for Jibs though, he's going to have upgrades soon, but he doesn't actually have enough riflemen yet. He's trying to pump out 2 more, and obviously he'll have a 3rd barracks in it. Oh, sorry, it's 3 racks double forge, my mistake. So it looks like he is going to be trying for some 2-base play. Normally you don't grab the 2nd forge if you want a 3rd base, just because the 2nd forge gobbles so much gold. By the time you grab one upgrade, that is the cost of your third base. But obviously the upgrades allow a nice strong 2-base play. So the first dragon is starting up and it's going to be heading over in a minute. Thing is, on this map, it's going to be a little bit difficult because obviously you have to be, the natural and the main are actually a fair way apart. Obviously the tower's going down in the natural and the main base, and this scout actually gets denied completely. So if we look at this, Berk sees the forge and sees 2 barracks, but he doesn't know much more than that. And should be in a really good position to hold this. He's ahead economically. Well, the workers are even now, but he's got an economic lead of about 500 gold. And Berk will actually be going into +2 armor in a second. So those dragons are going to be a little bit more durable. But there's only going to be one out. But, well, yeah, the second one's actually going to be like a full 30 seconds behind. So all in all, this attack from Berk is not really going to do anything. And in the meantime, Jibs is actually building up a fair force. Actually, he's just going to move out. He's confident the towers can hold this, and I'm pretty sure he's right with only 1 dragon here. Berk will spot this immediately, though, in the middle of the map. Oh, does he know? Does he know about the wolf? Jib's actually darting off to one side, so in a clutch piece of decision making there, Berk's actually not going to see this at all. He's going to see in a minute when he works out that the army isn't at the main base. But right now there's only 1 dragon. It should get a few kills, but the tower here is not going to be very much. Berk doesn't know this is coming, and he will have to cancel that 3rd base. It will buy him a little bit of time though from the units attacking his natural. And obviously this is not a fortified tower. It's a base tower, so it should be able to deflect 1 dragon. But until it gets fortified, it won't be able to hold on to multiple dragons. But there we go, the attack comes in on the 3rd base. Berk looks like Jibs isn't actually going to go for it, he's just going to deny the workers. And for all intents and purposes, this 3rd base is nullified. I'm actually surprised Jibs is going for this. Because obviously just for now it's denied, but I guess if he can force the cancel, that's going to be good for him. It does allow Berk obviously though to get out a few extra wolves, but I just don't think he has enough. I think he played way too greedy trying to get the double dragons and get the 3rd base already. And this build for Berk is just not working out. The dragon is actually on the way back. Jibs' 3rd base is going down behind this attack. And Jibs with some really clinical play here. He's clearly just... I don't know whether he's just playing well or whether he knows the timings of this build inside and out. But he clearly has just found the few holes in Berk's build. And just slipping his units in the gap. The big thing though for Berk is he does have this fort, which is a big pain. Without too many soldiers here, killing this fort is going to be really quite difficult. Simply just because you need so much DPS to take it down. But actually with the choke point here, Berk's going to have to send his units back and try and take a better flank. But in the meantime, oh, Berk nearly losing this dragon. He's got to be so careful. If he lets this come forward, there we go, Jib sees it, snipes it down. 1 more dragon comes out, but I don't think Berk's going to live through this. He's trying to get in on the riflemen rather than on the soldiers, but Jibs is kiting him back. Almost all the wolves are dead. There we go, down to 2 wolves. Or 3 wolves, sorry, another one pops out. And right now, Jibs' little push out with the 1-1 here, or he's actually gone up to 2-2 in just a second, is just taking Berk apart. Berk has no answer to this. And we'll be expecting a GG probably pretty shortly here. Jib's doing so well with that initial attack to set his economy up. Now with this follow-up push with the towers behind it just to defend from any counters. And Berk is just not going to get anything done. The fort's almost half dead. Jibs' base is set up now, so he's already 1 base ahead. He's about to be 2. The workers are being pulled to try and clean this up, but they're not really dealing with the main army. There we go, the fort is obviously the 2 armor on the fort is like ridiculous. So forts do take a long time to die. But and the dragon's going to get focused down. There we go, the dragon pops. 2 more dragons pop out though, so Berk might be okay. He's desperately trying to reinforce this fort. He's trying to get the other units taken out. And there we go, looks like... Well, actually, Chips has got some reinforcing units coming along here, so this follow attack might do some more damage. He's not managed to kill as many workers as it looks like. Most of these workers are still up in the main base, but now with the reinforcement wave coming along, this looks like even with these extra dragons popping out, Berk is still not going to have enough. More workers being pulled to try and take this out. Jibs has obviously got yet more upgrades coming along behind this. We're looking at 24 workers versus 16. 50 supply versus only 24. Even if Berk holds this, it's going to be so far behind. And Jibs can just continue to parade units across the map. Like, there's nothing really at the moment that stops Jibs from just pouring more and more units over, doing more and more damage. Because he's just in a position where he can just trade so efficiently. More workers going down. Another one's going to go down to these riflemen. There we go. This dragon has actually picked up 6 kills though. So that is something that Jibs actually does need to focus fire out of the sky. That's actually being quite a pain. Jibs' attack is starting to dwindle out here. Between this fort and this dragon, a lot of this attack is getting cleaned up. But Jibs' economy is so much better. It's nearly double that of his opponents. That, to be honest, he can afford to take these bad fights. Like, it wasn't an awful fight, but he obviously started to trade a little bit worse. Now he's actually going to start to mass up more units. More are coming across the map off these 3 racks. And obviously he doesn't have quite the unit count you'd expect because of that second forge. But there's another axe coming, so he should slowly be able to start to get up to that sort of full-scale macro production. And Jibs is actually just going to open up a little bit of space for himself to maneuver. This dragon's going to step forward, and it gets a little hit on the dragon, on the soldier, which is cute, but it's not really enough. Yeah, Jibs has nearly got a 3rd base saturated right now. It was actually double upgrades from Berk, which I'm sorry I did not actually notice until now. I'm not sure what Jibs is waiting for. I guess he's waiting for his 3-3. It's actually going to be 4-3 upgrade to kick in, and then he'll actually be 2 upgrades ahead, and that'll be great for him. So there we go. More wolves pop out for Berk to come in for the defense here, but there's 5 soldiers at the front, so those wolves are really not going to do much. They come in from both sides though, so they might get a flank. They do get in on top of these riflemen. He actually gets a really good surround here in this position. Jibs is still trying to kite back, and the soldiers are trying to get some work done, but they're not quite doing it. Jibs actually not taking the best of engagements, but I think he has so many units here right now. There we go. All the wolves die to these soldiers in the back. And right now, there's once again just 1 dragon defending. It's a bit of a champion with 7 kills there, but it's not going to be enough. 11 kills actually in this fortress. That's pretty mental. But there we go. Soldiers are now getting in on top of this fort. Jibs got a few more units, not quite rallied in with this. There we go. Rifleman actually coming in under the dragons. Oh, he should. There we go. 1 dragon gets sniped off immediately. 2nd dragon's going to go down a quick flurry of shots. There we go. And Berk is about to lose his natural expansion. The workers repairing it are getting sniped off. More and more workers going down here. And Jibs is once again double the worker count. He's 4 times the supply. Berk's natural base goes down. Berk says GG. And Jibs takes his round 1 game. Nice.